Hey, 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 hey. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey. Okay, hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Deliberate Life stream. This is Rosemary, Nonny, or RNK for short. And welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just going to share this around the place, man, and see how we go, I was reading a particular story today. Actually, I'll get straight into this. It was a story actually about Jesus. Oh, yes, I like to read my Bible. And it was talking about the fact that there was some guy called him to come and heal his daughter, Jairus or something. Yeah, called him to come and heal his daughter, asked for help with the daughter who was really ill, about to die. Jesus comes along, gets there after the girl has died, okay? So after the girl has died, so everybody's saying to him, hey, the girl is dead, okay? There's nothing you can do about this right now. And so he says, oh, no, all of y'all go out. All of you get out of the room. She's just sleeping. They all laugh at him. And anyway, he goes in, they all leave. He goes in, he does his thing. The girl wakes up, etc., so on. But this is it. Okay, yeah, that's a great story. And then that's all cool, well and good. But I'm coming at it from the perspective of you, the individual here. You, the individual here. You are, when you are in your, let's say, old nature, let's put it that way. There's an old nature, there's a newish nature, and the old nature kind of got to die, okay? But this is the thing about it. Everybody around you, everybody is surrounding you will think that nature, how do I explain, how do I want to say this? How was I seeing this? Ultimately, he comes in to deliver a particular message, just like you are particularly called for a specific thing, okay? I've always seen this story in a particular way, but I've never considered it in the way that I was considering it today, which is why it's a bit difficult to put it into words right now. But it's like, he had to come in. These people were ultimately enamored with the idea of this girl being dead, and that was the natural course of things. People get ill, people die, it's over, okay? But he had to see beyond the natural. Just like you, when it comes to your vision, when it comes to your calling, you have to see beyond the natural. You have to see beyond what normal people see. Because if you don't, you will assume that the vision is dead. You will assume there's nothing that can be done about it. And you will listen to the crowd. And therefore, you do not get the things that you actually would like in your life. Something else to consider in this, and I mean, I was just kind of, before we even carry on, I'm going to sing the affirmation to you, actually. But let me just finish sharing this, because I'm trying to share and talk and think all at the same time. But the affirmation, which I put in the comments, actually is, and okay, what is it? Where did I put it? I did put it there somewhere, didn't I? Let me see. Yeah. I am called, this is my priority above all, okay? I am called, this is my priority above all. That is actually the affirmation I wanted us to sing today. And I was thinking about this, just kind of this story, it kind of adds to it, it doesn't add to it, or whatever. There are three particular keys I want to bring out here, but listen in. I am called, this is my priority. I am called, this is my priority. Above all, above all, above all, above all, above all, above all. I am called, this is my priority. I am called, this all, above all, above all, above all, above all, above all. Very, very, very lovely songs. Thanks, Somnath. Okay, so I am called. This is my priority above all. As I was kind of considering this story of Jesus coming along, trying to heal this person, first and foremost, he has to kick these people out. Now, I think about us when it comes to our vision, when it comes to the call on our life. One, is it your priority, really? Is it your priority, or are the opinions of people more important to you than living out the call on your life? I see lots of people who say, yeah, I want to make a difference. I feel called to make a difference. Sometimes hate the word calling because it's so easy for it to kind of fall off the tongue. It's another thing to actually live it out. So in the face of people laughing at you, telling you that you're crazy, hardly anybody will tell you you're crazy unless you have a particular person who doesn't quite like you, basically. But for the most part, you'll just have a few people who think, who do you think you are? What, you think you're going to build a really successful business? Really? You think you're going to get a really successful life? What? Who told you that you could do such things? Huh? And then you get to choose. Am I going to allow what these people say to me affect what I choose to do? Hi, Somnath, very fulfilling voice or something voice. Thank you. Are you going to let that stop you from moving forward? Are you going to use that as your reason not to? Because lots of people do. Lots of people will say, well, nobody's done it before and nobody thinks I can do it. They must be true. And it's like, the first time I mentioned to my family that I wanted to be in business, I was laughed at. I was actually laughed at by my mom. I love her to bits, but that's one of those moments that sticks in one's mind, okay? Where it's like, why are you laughing at me? Why don't you think I can do it? And I couldn't listen to that. And I was a pharmacist at the time, so you know what? I didn't have to do that. I could have just gone back into working full time, except I had other ideas for my life. And so just like this, he comes along. He comes to do the thing that he feels called to do. People laughing at him and saying, it's over. What are you talking about? The girl is dead. Be gone. And he says, you know what, all of y'all, you just need to go. Why? And so his priority in that moment was the call. It wasn't what people thought about him. It wasn't whether anybody thought he could do it or couldn't do it, or even what they thought about themselves or the natural order of things. He had an idea, he had a plan inside of him about what he was going to do, and he was not going to be deterred. That was his priority above all. Above all. Can you honestly say that about your calling, about the vision that you carry? I know in this community, a lot of us want to make a difference in a bigger, bolder way. Okay, we want to make that difference, but then sometimes in the face of, oh, you know what I mean, I'm not going to be known as a doctor anymore, I'm not going to be known as this other person anymore, or my partner might not like it, or my children, who knows what could happen, la 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 la. So what is the priority? Is the priority to get to the end of your life knowing that you lived out the call on your life, or is it just to just get by? That's the question that you need to ask yourself all the time. The other thing I thought about as he kicked all of these people out, it was also silence, time in silence. There's times when there's just noise coming at you from every direction and you need to take time out. Now, if you're a client of mine, I would tell you that you need at least 20 minutes every single day that you commit to being on your own. Okay, now some of y'all, that'll be easier than for others because some of you have young children, which it's really hard to find time on your own, I know, ultimately, or you have a job, you wake up just in time to get to the workplace, and that's kind of it. So you don't really ever get time on your own. And then afterwards, it's like activities and this and that happens. Next thing you know, it's next morning again. You need time in silence. Again, if this call in your life, if this vision is a priority for you, then you need to create the space for it. You have to create the space for it. If it means kicking every single person out, because it's like if my daughters wake up before I'm ready for them, they are like, this is mommy's time. You need to either lie down quietly or go back to your room, basically, because this is mommy's time. I am very precious around the time I spend on my own. Very, very guarded. I protect it like I don't know what. I have to do that. I have to have that time. Not just because, one, I will kill them all if I don't get time on my own, but also because I need that time to reconnect with source, to reconnect with my purpose, to reconnect with my vision, to reconnect with what I'm here to do. I don't just do this business for the sake of it. I do it because I really do, from the very deep parts of my heart, know that I'm called to do this work. Okay? I'm called to do this work, so I create space for this work. So just like Jesus comes along, there's all these people moaning and weeping, and he just kicks them out. No regard for anything or anything. And he's done that on many different occasions. I keep reading. And it's like, for us, you have to get to the point where it's like, this is a priority for me. And because it's a priority for me, I will not let anyone eat into that time. I will create the space. If I have to wake up earlier, and I definitely do, I wake up earlier than the household. I make time to be on my own in silence, okay? Ooh, somebody's angry with me for some reason. Basically, you create the time. You have to create the time if you're serious about the call on your life, okay? Time away, time away, time away. What did I want to say about time away? Don't care what others think. I've already mentioned the fact that we cannot care what anybody else is thinking. You kind of have to just disregard whatever it is that they're saying. Disregard whatever anybody around you is thinking or saying about what you're here to do. It is your call. Nobody else can define it for you. Nobody else can do it for you. How important is it to you? That is the question. And some of you, yeah, you might not know yet what the call in your life is. You might not feel clear. You might just think, well, I'm just trying to get by. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think if you listen to me for any length of time, there's a part of you that knows that there's something more to you and you want to live that out. But guess what? Even if you're prior to knowing exactly what that something more is, if you don't create time, hi Wasim, how you doing? If you don't create space to figure out what it is, there'll always be this knowledge that there's supposed to be something going on, but it's not going on. And guess why it's not going on? Because you're not creating the time for it to go on. So you do need to have that time in silence, okay? You do need to stop caring so much what anybody else thinks about you. You do need to kick everyone out sometimes in order for you to create the space for your own life. It isn't selfish. Everybody gets served better if you are doing the thing you're actually here to do rather than just kind of, I don't know, doing what most people do. Let's sing this affirmation again. I like to keep them. I'm trying to keep these short. Who knows? Yeah. Okay. Just feel this with me, okay? That's the thing about doing these songs, is that I actually want them to seep into you so that you go off and actually keep thinking about it, okay? So let's do this together. I am called, I am called, this is my priority. I am called, I am called, this is my priority. Above all, above all, above all, above all, above all, above all. I am called, I am called, this is my priority. I am called, I am called, this is my priority. Above all, above all, above all, above all, above all, above all. Okay, I want you to take that into your day, and I really do want you to think, is it your priority? Is it actually your priority, or is it only when it's convenient? Is your calling, is your vision only available or only to be done when it's convenient? Because when you start telling yourself things like, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the this person needs me and the other person needs me, does that mean that it's the bottom of the pile for you? If it is the bottom of the pile, admit it to yourself so you can either change that or recognize that the chances are you will not actually live it out in the time that you're alive, just being honest, because there's the critical attitude for success here. Anything you set your mind to, if you don't make it a priority, it will never happen. It will never happen. Anytime you start making excuses or reasons why you cannot do it, it will not happen. It will not happen until you decide to change the levels of priority in your life. You might think that it's selfish of you to kick everyone out or to tell everyone, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I need to take time away to actually get clear on what I'm here to do. It's not selfish. But if you tell yourself that it is, then it becomes so for you. And therefore, again, you're back to not being able to actually live out the call in your life. You are born for something more, but it is your choice as to whether you live it or not. It is your choice as to what your life looks like. Everything about your life is being created by you every single moment of every single day. And I know that if you're going through some hard times right now, you might feel like there's no way I created that. It's you did, okay? And the thing about it as well is that it's a blessing that you did, because if you created it, guess what? You can uncreate it and create something you actually adore. If you think, however, that something, somebody, somewhere else did it, then you're doomed because then there's no way out. There's no way out, because how are you going to make somebody else do something? However, when you take full responsibility and you make your vision a priority, you make it important to you that you will not allow fear, you will not allow self-doubt to get in the way of you living out the call in your life, then honey, that is the attitude that lends itself to prosperity. Okay, that's the attitude that lends itself to living out a life that really feels amazing. So, on that note, man, I'm going to leave it at that. Remember, you are called. It needs to be your priority. So affirm that. It needs to be above all, which is, I don't know, even as I say it, I know for some people it's like, no, it's not supposed to be above all. And then they'll start quoting this and that and the other as the reason why it can't be above all. Well, okay. But understand what you're doing, because you're deceiving yourself into thinking that, oh no, if I just keep it as some kind of bottom level thing, it'll be fine. No, it won't be fine. It will not happen. So is it serious or not? And if it is, honey, if it is, and you know you need a kickstart, then I invite you to work with me on the Prosperous Life Intensive, okay? It's a 21-day one-on-one private mentoring kind of thing, okay, where we will look at one or two of your goals that are leading to your vision, and we will get them done in 21 days. Something that you may have been procrastinating on, being stuck about. We'll work together for 21 days to get it done, okay? We'll get those goals done. We'll remove any blocks, any internal craziness, because a lot of the things when I'm working with clients, it's the beliefs. It's the beliefs about what they have to do, beliefs about what they should be doing, what makes them good people, what doesn't make them good people. That's the stuff that stops them from actually living out the call on their life, okay? And that stuff needs to be rejigged. That stuff needs to be looked at and removed where it's getting in the way of you living out the call on your life, and will also help you optimize your environment to enable you to keep calling in your vision, keep creating your vision, keep designing the life that you actually want, as opposed to putting up with one you don't. Okay, so if that sounds interesting to you, then send me through a private message asking about the Prosperous Life Intensive. It'll be absolutely amazing to work with you if you're the right kind of person. Are you ready? You're serious? You sure? Okay, and on that note, I'm going to bring this to a close. Remember, I am called. This is my priority above all. Until the next time, much amazing love. Much love. Share.